Good morning, welcome to a new vlog, welcome to the woods. Just listen. I know I say that in every vlog I do, in the woods, but peaceful. Hope you've had a good week, work, isolating, whatever you were doing. This week we're going to talk about my 5 woodland photography tips. These are not rules. These are not, these are not gospel things. These are just 5 tips, or 5 things that I look for in the woods. The first one being clearings. Look for highlights in the woods, especially like this woods I'm in now. It's quite deep. It's quite enclosed now that we've got some new growth. Everything's very green. So when you see an opening in a canopy above and it's drawing that soft ambient light down onto the forest floor, and if you catch it right or you see the right opportunity, you can see a subject behind where it's being illuminated, and it really helps stand out from the dark dingy woods. So yeah, number 1 is look for light in the woods, ambient light. Number 2 is get off the beaten track. Get your boots muddy. I mean really muddy. Get off of the main tracks and trails and roads. Get yourself in the undergrowth. But be careful. Try not to trample on new growth, blossoming flowers, seasonal flowers, plants like the bluebells. You don't want to be trampling on anything that's particularly growing. Try and keep to the dead. You know, the trails that the badgers and the animals make, maybe, if you can. But yeah, get off the beaten track. Try and take a shot. You'll see things that other people are not going to see. And also as well, being photographers, we're quite seldom, and I like to get away from people and just embrace nature. So yeah, number 2, get off the beaten track. Number 3, try and plan your shoots. I don't mean down to every minute, but try and plan a location, and then hopefully an area in a location, like you have a certain woods in mind, but you want to just concentrate on a certain section. Narrow your field of view down, and by planning and choosing a certain section of a woods, and a certain woods obviously, you are eliminating as many distractions as possible. Get your phone out, check. Yeah, there's plenty of apps I use. Just use the maps on the Google Maps on the iPhone, or you can use photographer's ephemeris, or photo pills is another good one. And you can pinpoint locations, and you can have like a list of locations you want to go to, work your way through them one at a time. Don't put loads of pressure on from surrounding locations and lots of other things you want to shoot once you walk in. Pick a location, pick a woods, and then just concentrate to a single section of that woods, and that'll help you isolate and get rid of many distractions, so you can concentrate on trying to get an image in that certain section. So yeah, number 3 is plan and choose a location. Number 4, use a telephoto lens. I use a 50mm prime, but I'm on a crop sensor, so I'm around 75mm. So by using a telephoto focal length, you are compressing the scene in the woods, which is creating separation and simplifying the shot. And that's something that I teach in my workshops as well, is to try and it's all about trying to make things easier and simple, eliminating distractions. And by using a telephoto focal length like 70mm and upwards, you are, like I said, compressing that scene, simplifying the scene by eliminating distractions. I think woodland shots is all about eliminating what is not needed, what doesn't add to the image, rather than what do I want to include. I always try and teach people to work backwards. I feel like you get a cleaner image and you get to the end result quicker than if you try and take a wider focal length and then try and creep it in. I think you're better off taking a tighter shot with a longer focal range, and then if you want to, then you can slowly creep out, and then I just think you get a better idea, a quicker idea of what works and what doesn't. So yeah, tip number 4, use a long focal range of 70mm and above, like I've done here, and I think you'll find your woodland images will come a lot quicker, and you'll get less stressed out about it, because let's be honest, woodland photography can be quite stressful. Number 5, use a polarizer. A polarizer is, for me, it's such a essential piece of kit when I'm in the woods. I don't use it every time, but it normally lives on the end of my lens, and I'm generally using variations of polarization. It cuts glare off of leaves if you've got leaves, which obviously you will do in the woods, and you're at that 45 or 90 degree angle. That's when the polarizer will work best. It will cut that sheen and glare off of your leaf surface, any sort of surfaces. And if you're in the woods and it's wet, it's quite atmospheric, it will help cut the glare even more. That glare you get on wet surfaces. Also, the polarizer is good for. It does stop down around 1.5 to 2 stops of light, depending on which brand you buy. So if you've got in a woods and you've got like a watery scene, like a brook or a river, that could help you get the shutter speed that you want for moving water. But the main other reason is it enriches the browns and the greens, which are the two dominant colours in the woods. You'll notice that tiny little increments will take that sheen and it will enrich browns and greens. Yeah, so polarizer is absolute key bit of kit. You don't have to get an expensive one, you can go out and buy a cheap polarizer, but I will emphasise that cheap filters are obviously very cheap, and that will reflect in the quality of the glass. At the end of the day, you're putting another layer in front of your lens, and if you've got an expensive camera or it doesn't really matter, anything you put in front of that lens is going to affect the image in a positive and negative way. And by putting cheap glass on in front of your possible really expensive lens is kind of counterintuitive. So I'm going to take this opportunity to promote Case. I am a partner of Case, I have been for a while now, and I use their filters exclusively. But yeah, like I said, I have got a Case polarizer, and at the moment Case are doing a discount deal for everyone. Case do a brilliant affiliate program where people like myself, I used to have codes, a discount code I could offer you, and I got a small commission. Now, since the COVID, things have changed slightly and it's a little bit different. So what Case are offering is 10% of all sales will go to their partners, not necessarily me. I can opt in or opt out, but every person that orders direct through the Case website will get 5% discount if you use the offer code PRO5CASE. So head over to case.co.uk, and at checkout put the redeem code, go down to the redeem code section and put in PRO5CASE, and that'll take you straight through and you'll get 5% off of their website. I'll put the links down to the Case below. It's at no extra cost to you, and you get the products exactly what you would get anywhere else. It's just that at the moment in these times, every little helps. In Case are trying to help the people that promote their gear by giving them 10%, and you get a 5% discount as well at no extra cost. So yeah, Pro5Case, case.co.uk, and grab yourself a polarizer for shooting woods. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've really enjoyed this. I really hope that maybe 1, 2, 3 or even 5 of these tips that I've given you for shooting woodland will help you and your woodland photography. Yeah, it helps me massively. Every time I go out I try and follow these very similar rules, and like I said, yeah, it just helps me simplify the shot by planning, by looking for that light, reacting to that light, rather than taking in the grand vista of the woods, which is very daunting. Try and narrow your field of view by using a long lens and look for that beam of light which pops. You're getting a separation, you're simplifying the image by using a long focal length. Use your polarizer, which will help you cut all the glare and enrich them colours, and hopefully you will get a nice woodland image. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm Photoninja, and I will see you next week. Ciao.